starting another week. Huge news coming out for the crypto space once again. Every day I go to bed, I'm like, what am I going to wake up to tomorrow? It's been like that for weeks now, and it's absolutely awesome to see. This is Bitcoin on the hourly. You can just see there's no crazy parabolic move based on the news or reacting to the news that has come out. But I think in the macro, this is an extremely bullish narrative that continues to develop. And I want to, after we look at this news, I want to examine not the hourly chart on Bitcoin, but I do want to examine the zoomed out weekly chart on Bitcoin. A lot of people calling for the Bitcoin bull market, the crypto bull market to start potentially early this time around. I want to explore that in this video, so stick around for that. But let's dive into this news. And before we even talk about the big headline, and this is what the headline is, Hong Kong's biggest bank, $1.3 trillion, HSBC now reportedly offers Bitcoin ETFs to clients. Before we talk about this, let's lay the groundwork here. And this is going back a little bit. This is a headline all the way from October 30th, 2021. First U.S. Bitcoin-linked ETF on October 19th. ProShares to launch the first U.S. Bitcoin-linked ETF on October 19th. Why am I bringing this up? This is old news. This is back in the day. The reason I'm bringing this up, and it's happening simultaneous, remember, with the news that's breaking today, this headline that we just looked at. It's happening simultaneous. This is from the other day. SEC just approved the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. Before even approving the spot Bitcoin ETF, they approved the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. This was the other day, 3 days ago. All these ETFs being filed for BlackRock. While all that's happening, we have this Bitcoin ETF BITO, and this is the ProShares from 2021 that we just looked at, just had its biggest weekly inflow in a year as it hits $1 billion in assets. Bullish. Look at that look at that green candle. Look at that graph. The reason I'm bringing that up is because right now, everything that the crypto space has been waiting for in terms of this exact narrative, meaning that huge, massive doorway of adoption being just opened, or at least starting to open, that's happening right now. And what's really fueling the narrative, there's actually a lot of different things fueling the narrative, but I think at the base layer really is everything that's happening with ETFs, allowing for just adoption from an institutional standpoint, accessibility from an institutional standpoint. It's happening all across the board, all over the place. The headlines, they just keep coming out. And even the fact that we had SEC approving the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. So it's all coming to confluence together, right? And then here's the headline that's breaking today. HSBC Hong Kong offers Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF to clients. And let's not downplay how big that is too. Ethereum is in there. That's extremely notable. So here's what the news looks like. And then we're going to look at Bitcoin charts and just from a roadmap perspective, try and identify, is there going to be an early bull market? And I'll give my opinion on that in that part of the video. But on June 26, local journalist Colin Wu reported on Twitter that HSBC Hong Kong has introduced a feature that allows its customers to engage in buying and selling of exchange-traded funds related to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're going to look at just how big that is of news. Currently, Hong Kong Exchange has 3 crypto ETFs available, with the objective of broadening the reach of cryptocurrencies among local users in Hong Kong. HSBC has taken a noteworthy step. Online reports indicate that as of March 2022, HSBC Hong Kong boasted a substantial number of 1.7 million active mobile customers. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. So, and just look at this graph once again. The graph is just huge in terms of the reaction to all of this ETF news. And this isn't the HSBC news, but look at this 2021 ProShares ETF. This is the reaction, not to today's news, but the general scope of all of this macro ETF news. And I think that green candle that we see, I think is potentially a precursor of what is to come. More green candles like that in terms of adoption and even just the speculation surrounding all of these things breaking, right? So gonna keep an eye on all of that data, but the question remains, is this gonna lead to this huge, massive bull market, right? I wanna discuss this. As many of you know, if you watch my technical analysis, just to start this part of the video that discusses price, when I talk about a bull market, the bull market doors being broken and Bitcoin breaking through the bull market, it's a very simple indicator that I use. It's a swing high bull market to bear market low, and it's that green channel, the bull market doors. And I have actually I'm working on something really special in regards to an indicator surrounding this exact area on the macro. But it's that area. Now, this area, throughout the cycles of Bitcoin, that has kicked off truly the parabolic crazy move for the Bitcoin bull market, where it starts breaking previous all-time highs, and it's post the halving, historically. So the question is, and a lot of people have different opinions on this, the question is, with everything going on, namely that massive doorway being broken in terms of Bitcoin ETFs and crypto adoption on a global scale, is it going to happen earlier this time? And my first thought is this. Over the years, and I've been doing YouTube videos for over 5 years, covering all of the charts, covering cycles. This is massive, what's happening right now. It really is, in terms of global adoption and everything we have been waiting years for. But over the years, covering almost daily videos and analysis of these markets, whether it's right now with the ETF narrative and this huge adoption narrative, or whether it's a bull market high back here or a bear market low back here, no matter where we are, there's always some type of narrative that has this underlying foundational principle that says this time is different. And that's kind of what I see pushing this new narrative that the Bitcoin bull market is starting now, and it's going to happen earlier than every other cycle this time around because this time is different. And I am extremely cautious myself. And I don't know yet what I think, but I'm extremely cautious to sit here and do this analysis and say, everybody, look at all of this stuff that's happening. And we can even kind of bring into play ETF, or not ETF, SEC news. So outside of all this ETF stuff and SEC even approving the first leverage Bitcoin futures ETF, which you see here, SEC in these cases, let's bring that into play. If that turns out bullish, and they're kind of in over their heads, it seems, in terms of their wars that they're creating, Ripple, Coinbase, Binance. What if they start losing? What if they start gaining traction? That's bullish for the crypto industry. Does that play into this and make things different? Even with that, I'm cautious to sit here and say this time is different. And speculatively, if we're looking at the Fibonacci retracement and we're looking at the time frames and the scarcity effect of Bitcoin halvings, and that's over here. This is actually in March, but I believe it's in April, so this needs to be pushed up a month, this white line. If we're taking all of the data into account, and it does historically play out once again, we have the bull market high to bear market low, the area that I'm very simply waiting for, and this is the question. You comment below and let me know your thoughts. But this is the area. It's the 786 around $57,000, the 618 around $47,000. It's a $10,000 range. And the question, the very simple question, and I'm curious what side of the fence you sit on here. Are we going to break that area prior to this halving in April 2024? Or are we going to break that area post-halving? That's the question. Is all of this bullishness, and if there's more bullishness that comes into play, is it going to drive Bitcoin into an early bull market? That would be something that Bitcoin has never done, something crypto has never done. Remember, we're talking about Bitcoin now, but this is an entire roadmap for all of crypto space. And as far as I'm concerned, that's why I use this chart so much. It's not just for Bitcoin, but that's the question. And I can't sit here just yet and say it's an early bull market. It's going to happen because I've seen narratives float around too many times that suggest something's going to happen and it just doesn't play out. And Bitcoin and crypto continues, no matter what is going on in the news and the headlines and adoption or whatever, continues just to follow its path. It continues. And this could be unpopular opinion. It continues to consolidate even when there is crazy bullish news. That's a possibility. And that's for another video, but downside amidst all of this bullish news is possible. And this is just something I've learned over the years of being in crypto. Can't get married to the emotion of the headlines, no matter how bullish they are. They play in so well to the macro growth of the crypto space. But for me, I'm very cautious in just running with the news and just saying, this is it, everybody. This time's different. Bitcoin's breaking 100,000, before the next halving, or even just breaking all-time highs, or just starting the bull market. It's got a ways to go. Bitcoin on this chart from where it is right now to break those bull market doors still has to see 88% plus gains to break those doors. And so will it happen? I don't know. Could it? Absolutely. It could happen. But when does it happen? Before, after halving? That's the question. I'm really curious of your thoughts. But I'm cautious to sit here and say that's going to happen. Let me know your thoughts, everybody, how you're doing out there. I appreciate you. It's fun getting this week started with some crypto news. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe for me as I try and grow this YouTube channel. Your support really means a lot to me. Trying to bring out that crypto news as it happens and cover it the best way I can. Also analysis in terms of Bitcoin and crypto charts. So turn the notifications on, hit that like button. Once again, I appreciate all of you. Have a good start to your week. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.